Four Northern Kentucky teams playing for state football championships this weekend. Three of them kind of your usual suspects. Beechwood, Highlands, Newport Central Catholic. Yet there's another playing a Kentucky State dynasty this weekend that I don't think anybody saw them playing for the Kentucky State Championship. And the head coach is with us now from Simon Kenton High School, the head coach of the Pioneers, Jeff Marksberry. Jeff, how you doing?
Good, Mo. How are you?
I'm doing great. This is kind of a cool story. Midway through the season, you guys were 4-4. You essentially played an elimination game at the end of the year, and lo and behold, you're in the state title game. Would you have ever imagined it?
You know, back in the spring, we did a little team building activity called Hold the Rope, and I wrote a little story that went along with it that talked about every year one team in the NFL wins a Super Bowl and one team in college wins a BCS championship, and one team in the state of Kentucky wins a Class 6A state championship. And that was the introduction to that team building activity that we did. And, you know, we kind of thought that the team was going to be special. And, you know, we were picked to win the district, and we struggled, as you mentioned. After 7 games, we were 3-4. And it's been an amazing ride. We kind of, you know, we thought we were good enough. I don't know if we thought we were good enough to get to the state finals, but we thought we were going to be a pretty good football team. So it's been a surprise. It's been a great ride, but we're happy as heck to be here.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And you're playing a Louisville Trinity team that has been just a power in the state of Kentucky. And I want to get to them in a second. But first, let's go through your playoff run, because what's kind of cool about it is you've won 5 playoff games and you've avenged 3 regular season losses. And for the most part, those were pretty lopsided games, right?
Yeah, the only game that was close to Connor in week 3, 20-19, and we had been up 19-7. We were actually up 19-7 with about 2 minutes to go in that football game, and wound up losing 20-19 they threw a touchdown pass with like 14 seconds left to beat us, and you know that was a devastating loss.
And then you've come from that into the playoffs, and as I said, you beat some teams that had kind of taken you to the woodshed in the regular season. What kind of led the turnaround?
Our senior leadership. We have a tremendous group of seniors right now that just don't want things to end. After we lost that Boone County game, that lopsided loss that you're talking about, that game was 42-0 at halftime. Wow. in the regular season. And we knew that our Campbell County game was do or die for us, and that was a game that was 2 weeks after that Boone game. We played Russell in between there, got a nice win against Russell, a pretty good football team, and our seniors called our team together and started just talking about what it meant to play football at Simon Kenton, and really started talking about some of the personal hardships that some of our players had been through, some family struggles, some personal struggles, the things that they had to deal with on a very personal level. And, you know, they talked about how football was a refuge for them, and how being a part of this program really saved some of their, saved some of their lives. And that made our kids at that point just decide that, you know what, we're going to play for each other. This football is about relationships and trusting each other, and that's what our team is doing right now.
Simon Kenton football coach Jeff Marksberry is with us. The Pioneers play Louisville Trinity for the state championship. You also avenged a loss in the semifinals to against St. Xavier. You lost 30-6 to them in the regular season, came back and beat them 28-21. For those of us that don't know, and I mentioned there's some usual suspects that even if you're not a huge high school football fan, in Northern Kentucky, you know Highlands, you know Beechwood. Has Simon Kenton won a state title before?
No, Simon Kenton has never even been to the state finals before.
Wow.
This is our first trip. Prior to this playoff run, our playoff record was 1-5. We'd been to the playoffs 4 times. Once in 1993, had beat Boyd County in the first round game, and then lost to Covington Catholic, the eventual state champion, in the second round, and then. In 2001, we lost to Trinity in the first round. In 2005, we lost to Trinity in the first round. In 2007, we lost to Ryle in the first round. So to get this far, we've balanced out our playoff record. We're now 5-5 overall, and playoff record history, and we find ourselves in the state finals for the first time.
You play Louisville Trinity on Saturday night. Now, this is a team that has won 18 state championships and 5 of the last 6. It's a daunting task, but after what you've done here over the last month plus, not one that's impossible.
It is not impossible, and you know, a big portion of getting over that hurdle is getting your kids to believe. And I think if you talk to any high school football coach, they would tell you that that's a huge hurdle that you have to clear is the mental side of it. And our kids really believe in themselves and each other right now, and really what we're trying to do offensively and defensively. You know, there's no magic to it. We've got some great football players. We've got a great offensive line. We've got a great tailback in Miles Simpson. We've been playing tremendous defense, and our kids really believe in what we're doing and what we're trying to do. They really believe that they can win a state championship. And as you said, it's a huge task. You know, Trinity's won 18 titles. But I know one thing, Saturday, our kids aren't going to be scared of them.
From 3-4 in the middle of the season to 10-4 and a berth in the state championship game, we're proud of you. Bring home the state title, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Thank you very much, Mo. It's a pleasure.
Thanks, Coach. The head coach of the Simon Kenton Pioneers, Jeff Marks. That's remarkable. I mean, you go from 3-4. You're a school that's never won a state title. You go from 3-4. Then in the playoffs, you beat 3 teams that beat you and beat you lopsided. And you end up in the state championship game. That's really cool. Good luck to them, and, of course, good luck to the other 3 Northern Kentucky teams, all playing for state